Have you ever wondered about the daring adventures of the legendary Sinbad the Sailor? This tale of the enigmatic sailor takes us on a journey across the seven seas, full of danger, excitement, and wonder. Sinbad, an intrepid adventurer hailing from the city of Baghdad, embarks on 7 remarkable voyages, each one more fantastical than the last. Our story finds its roots in the ancient collection of Middle Eastern folk tales known as the Arabian Nights, where Sinbad's voyages have captivated audiences for centuries. From encounters with monstrous creatures to discovery of unimaginable treasures, Sinbad's tales are a testament to the human spirit's unyielding resilience and thirst for adventure. His exploits reveal not just the marvels of the unknown world, but also the profound lessons each journey imparts. A tale of courage, wits, and an unquenchable desire for discovery, the story of Sinbad is much more than a sailor's log. Let's dive into the world of Sinbad and his extraordinary adventures. Sinbad's first voyage begins with a twist of fate. As fortune would have it, our intrepid adventurer Sinbad finds himself marooned on what appears to be a deserted island. But in a startling revelation, this is no ordinary island. No, it is a gigantic slumbering whale, dormant in the vast ocean. Imagine the shock, the awe, the sheer disbelief as the ground beneath Sinbad begins to stir, revealing itself to be the leviathan of the deep. Yet in the face of such a predicament, Sinbad does not falter. His wit and resourcefulness come to the fore, navigating him through this perilous situation. In a masterstroke of ingenuity, Sinbad spots a flock of enormous birds soaring overhead. With a quick decision, he ties himself to one of these airborne behemoths with his turban, effectively hitching a ride to safety. As the bird takes flight, so does our sailor, whisked away from the whale island and back to the familiar land. This daring escape marks the end of Sinbad's first voyage, a tale of extraordinary circumstances and even more extraordinary courage. From a deserted island to a colossal whale, from a perilous situation to a daring escape, Sinbad's voyage was anything but ordinary. It was a testament to his quick thinking and resourcefulness, traits that would serve him well in his future voyages. Sinbad's first voyage displayed his resourcefulness and quick thinking. And so the saga of Sinbad the Sailor begins, filled with more incredible adventures and tales to astound and inspire. The second voyage proves even more fantastical than the first. As Sinbad navigates the vast ocean, he finds himself marooned on an island that's home to an enormous bird known as the Roc. This bird is so large that its egg alone is bigger than a small house. With his ship destroyed and no means of escape, Sinbad is left to his own devices. But here's where our sailor's cunning comes into play. He carves a message onto the surface of the Roc's egg, pleading for help from anyone who might find it. Then, as the giant rock returns to its nest, it takes its egg and unknowingly Sinbad's message across the sea. The egg is eventually found by a group of merchants who rescue Sinbad, marveling at his ingenuity. It's in these extraordinary circumstances that Sinbad's resourcefulness truly comes to light. His quick thinking and courage are what keeps him alive in the face of danger. Sinbad's bravery and intelligence shine through once again. Sinbad's third voyage takes a dark turn. Upon his arrival, Sinbad unknowingly lands on a cannibal island. The inhabitants, fierce and relentless, seize our adventurer, binding him to their mealtime customs. Yet Sinbad, our fearless sailor, refuses to let his journey end in such a grim fashion. In the heart of danger, Sinbad's mind begins to churn, formulating a plan to escape his impending doom. Using his quick wit, Sinbad convinces his captors to allow him some freedom. He constructs a wooden raft, a humble vessel compared to his grand ship, but a beacon of hope nonetheless. With the raft ready, Sinbad seizes the opportunity, and under the cloak of night, he slips away from the cannibal island. The waves carry him away, his heart pounding in his chest, his mind filled with relief. The cannibals awaken to an empty shore, their captive gone, outsmarted by the cunning sailor. Sinbad's quick wit saves him from a grim fate. And with this, his third voyage draws to a close. Sinbad's fourth voyage presents him with a formidable adversary. Indeed, it was not a monstrous beast or a treacherous storm, but an old man of the sea to be precise. This cunning old man tricks Sinbad into carrying him on his shoulders, only to clamp onto him like a vice, refusing to let go. Trapped in this predicament, our quick-witted sailor is forced to carry the old man around, becoming his unwilling servant. But Sinbad is not one to be bested so easily. He hatches a plan, using the old man's one weakness against him, his love for wine. Sinbad feigns joy and invites the old man to join him in a drink. The old man, unable to resist, indulges himself and soon falls into a deep sleep, loosened from Sinbad's shoulders. Seizing the moment, Sinbad makes his escape, leaving the old man behind. Sinbad's cleverness saves the day once more. The fifth voyage takes Sinbad to the depths of the earth. This journey, unlike the ones before, leads him to an unexpected discovery, a spectacle that holds him in awe. Imagine, if you will, an underground river, not just any river, but one filled to the brim with precious gems, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, all glistening under the soft glow of the underground lanterns, a sight to behold, a sight to make any man's heart race with greed and delight. But Sinbad, our seasoned sailor, is not any man. He approaches this treasure with the wisdom of his past experiences, with the caution of a man who knows that fortune often comes with a formidable price. Yet he cannot resist the lure of the gems, the promise of wealth they hold. So he gathers as many as he can, with the thought of his home, his beloved Baghdad, in his heart. Once his vessel is laden with the gems, he navigates his way out of the underground river, carrying with him a fortune that would make kings envious. He returns to Baghdad richer than ever, a success story that the city sings for days on end. His name, Sinbad the Sailor, becomes a legend, his tales a beacon of hope for those daring to dream to venture into the unknown. Sinbad's adventurous spirit leads him to astounding wealth. Sinbad's final voyages are a roller coaster of fortune. His sixth voyage saw him losing everything. His ship was wrecked, his companions lost, and Sinbad, once a wealthy man, was left destitute. But Sinbad was a sailor at heart, and the sea was his home. And so he set sail once more on his seventh voyage, hoping to regain his lost fortune. What awaited him was far beyond his wildest dreams. Sinbad found himself in a land inhabited by a tribe with an unusual custom. They lived in graves, embracing the cycle of life and death in a way that Sinbad had never imagined. The tribe, seeing the wayward sailor, took him in and showed him their ways. Sinbad, for the first time, was confronted with the reality of mortality and the fleeting nature of wealth. But fate had a different plan. Sinbad learned that the tribe had a tradition. When their king passed away, all his wealth was buried with him in a cavern filled with diamonds, gold, and precious gems. Seeing this, Sinbad hatched a plan. He requested the tribe to bury him in the cavern when his time came. But instead of waiting for death, Sinbad escaped, taking as many riches as he could carry. His return to Baghdad was triumphant. He was wealthy again, more than he had ever been. But the experiences of his voyages had changed him. He had seen the wealth of kings buried and forgotten, the poverty of shipwrecked sailors, and the contentment of a grave-dwelling tribe. He realized that wealth was not the ultimate goal, but a means to an end. And so Sinbad decided to retire, content with his adventures and the lessons he had learned. He used his wealth to live a life of peace, helping those in need and enjoying the simpler pleasures of life. Sinbad's final voyages had taught him the value of contentment and the dangers of greed. Sinbad's final voyages teach him the value of contentment and the dangers of greed. His story is a reminder that wealth is fleeting, but the lessons we learn and the experiences we gather are the true treasures of life. What can we take away from Sinbad's extraordinary voyages? Sinbad's adventures, filled with mythical creatures, treacherous terrains, and unexpected events, offer more than just entertainment. They impart valuable life lessons. His resourcefulness in the face of adversity, such as when he escaped the Whale Island or outwitted the Old Man of the Sea, teaches us the power of quick thinking and adaptability. His bravery, evident in every dangerous encounter, encourages us to face our fears head-on. His intelligence and cleverness, seen when he used the roc's egg to escape or navigated the underground river, remind us that wit can often be mightier than the sword. Moreover, Sinbad's adventurous spirit reflects the joy of exploration and discovery, while his journey from wealth to poverty and back again underscores the value of contentment over greed. These tales from the high seas, filled with wisdom, inspire us to chart our own course in life. Remember, like Sinbad, we all have our voyages to undertake. It's how we navigate them that defines our story.